Thank you. Thank you very much for this invitation. And I'm Romina Grillo. I'm speaking for Unulaunu, and I will show some of our projects today. This is our team. We come from different academic and cultural backgrounds. We work in many different places in the world. And our office is at the moment located in Bucharest. So I'm Italian, but the rest of the team is Romanian. And Romania is the country with the smallest amount of architects per inhabitants in Europe. As you can see, in this map, Romania has one architect each 3,900 inhabitants. And the opposite side, Italy, has one architect each 416 inhabitants, with an overcrowded market. This slide shows more or less the global economy together with the Romanian one. And this is the period where we graduated. And even though we became architects in the lowest point of the global economy, we decided to open our practice in a moment where optimism is needed. This is the geographical location of our projects. The first project is the one that brought us together. It was a one competition for the Romanian Pavilion at the 2010 Biennale of Venice. The topic of the Biennale given by Sejima was People Meet in Architecture. The Romanian Pavilion is located in the Giardini, and this is the existing building. We started from the reflection of the difficulties of exhibiting something in this specific moment at the Biennale. And we decided to exhibit a space, a volume with a specific space, and more exactly, the number of square meters per person in the city of Bucharest, considering the surface of the city divided by the amounts of its inhabitants. The result is 94,4 square meters per person. And this is the population density level of the city of Bucharest. Is a specific and local relation that represent the metropolitan condition in Romania. The architecture of the volume is the physical presence of the enclosed exhibited space. Moving around the visitors reveals fragments in three very specific moments through these small round openings in the walls. The exhibited space could be experienced by one person at a time, and because of that, the people outside of the volume could, through the three openings, see this relationship between one individual and his own space in Bucharest. The three perforations, together with the opening in the ceiling, creates sort of coordinate system, a reference system for the person inside, enough to define a space. The next project is a house with 4 gardens, a commission for a one-family house. The house is situated on a hill close to the city of Târgu in Transylvania, with a nice view over the city and over the landscape around it. Thanks to the general surface of the lot, the house stays just in the middle of it, creating a building with 4 faces, each one looking to a garden. As you can see in the model, the house follows the maximum slope of the terrain in order to have a 2-floor building. The geometry of the house is very simple and clear. All the interior spaces are strongly oriented towards a garden. The central and public space is an extroverted one and is the only one in the house that is exposing itself towards the outside. It works also as a connection between these 2 big gardens. At the same level of the daily area, there is also the master bedroom, which is a niche between these 2 walls, that opened itself towards this garden. And the garden puts itself as an extension of this room. Two guest rooms or children rooms are located in the lower floor, and they open itself as well towards a private garden. As you can see in the section, the geometry of the house follows the existing sloping topography. And the presence of a single window towards the outside hides the simple complexity of the house behind a discreet and quite mysterious appearance. This project is a lost competition for a city hall in a small city close to Bergamo in Italy. This is the lot and is located in the center of the village, close to the main church. Here we can see the church. Our first action was to occupy as much as possible of the area in order to cut the biggest unnecessary surface, that together with the public space of the church at the one of the street could generate a generous piazza with the church in the middle. So given the complex morphology of the site and the limitation of a building of only 2 floors imposed by the brief, the resulted system is a system of 2 floors that follows the existing topography connecting the different levels of the lot. As a consequence, the new building develops itself in a continuous flowing space that is made of a system of platforms and pillars. This is the section, and in a zoom in, we could see that the overlapping of two different levels is creating problems in terms of space geometry. As you can see here, the space is contaminated from the space next to it. To avoid this problem, the two upper floors slide exactly as much as the thickness of one step, and the new space became clean. The extra thickness created by the overlapping of the platforms generates a beam that, together with the system of pillars, produce the structural system for the entire project. Through the solution of this problem, which is a detailed problem, can be explained the apparently deformed anatomy of the entire building. The resulted continuous space allows us to organize the program in a strategic manner inside the system. For example, all the public functions are placed on the street level, the same level of the piazza, like, for example, the pharmacy, the banks, or the post office. In the upper floors, there is the administration and auditoriums and library that are at the same level with the existing school and gym of the lot. This is a view from the background. And this is a view from the street. The project that follows is an house with an outside room. It was a private commission for a filmmaker and his family. Due to its position at the end of a country road and at the beginning of a dense forest, the house uses this condition to create an intimate and private environment. To emphasize the desire of intimacy of our client, we decided to place a courtyard between the street and the house, and a garden between the forest and the house. The entrance of the building is through the courtyard, and this courtyard is we imagine this courtyard like an outside room of the house, a buffer zone, a working zone that could work as a living room, dining room, or even as a cinema. The small studio of the filmmaker and the kitchen are oriented towards the courtyard, one facing the entrance and the other one facing an outside fireplace. The living room is the only space of the entire house opening itself towards the two different conditions, the courtyard and the forest. The dominating character of the living room is also emphasized through the fact that it is the highest room in the entire house. And from this point, we are going some steps lower to a private zone that, as you can see in the model, corresponds to the sleeping area of the house. This is, for example, the parents' apartment with a secret stair that connects the different levels of the house and some key space of the apartment, like, for example, the filmmaker office at the level of the courtyard, the garden on a lower level, and in the upper level, a terrace. This is a view of the stair from the garden. And once again, the entire layout of the project. The upper floor is more or less dedicated to the working areas, where there is the wife's office that it looks down to the husband's office, and a movies playing in room looking down to the living room. And this is a view from outside, from the forest. This project was a competition that we were invited to for the new embassy of Kuwait in Bucharest. The location is in the north part of the city, with a very nice view on the lakes. And due to the very strict program layout of an embassy, we decided to place the protocol area together with the ambassador apartment on the top of the building. And by doing so, gaining the privacy needed, and as well as the nice view above the trees through the lakes, towards the lake. Underneath, we left the machinery of the embassy, like the staff, offices, diplomats, and so on. This is a section. And because of the limitation of the height and the density of the program, we decided to lower the first floor and to create a lower courtyard that goes all around the building. This is, for example, the street level, and this is the lower courtyard. An image took from the lower courtyard. At the entrance level, the building connects with the street in only 2 points, this one and this one, represented by the different types of access. One is for the visa and staff entrance, and the other one is the VIP drop-off access. The protocol floor has a big balcony all around that, as it showed in these schemes, is directly connected to the main entrance. And this balcony is the place where the public life of the embassy happens. The last project is an exhibition that we did in the Behrens building in the Weissenhof Siedlung in Stuttgart. It was called Perspektiven, and we decided to show 10 projects, 1 image each project. 10 images were built with the stereoscopic method in order to create a 3-dimensional image inside a box. The stereoscopic effect uses 2 slightly different perspectives of the same image, tricking our brain into creating a 3-dimensional image. The fact that this is only an illusion that pushes our brain to go in a different dimension could be a metaphor of the way we build architecture in our brain. Those are the images that we built, each one in a box. And this is the exhibition. Obrigado.